mention there's going to be a giveaway? I forgot to tell you. There's going to be a giveaway at the end of the episode, so stay tuned. Welcome to the Autumn Acorn Knits. This is episode 62. And this is my podcast where I talk about everything I've been knitting and crocheting for the last, I think it's been about 6 weeks since I last podcast. All right, we're going to start off with finished objects. And here is the first one. This is called The Love Note by Tin Can Knits. It has this beautiful lace yoke. I'll put in some video footage of me wearing the sweater so you can see it much better. For the yarn, I used KnitCrate Vidalana Ascendance in the colorway Broken Stones, and that's the creamy color you see. And then for this darker color, I used a 100% pure silk, and that was Kinu Ito was the brand. I have a little bit left of the Vidalana, and this is the same yarn I used for my Broken Stones hat. So it's this blown chain ply yarn, which is not focusing. There we go. And it's a very light and airy blown yarn, like I said. And then here is the pure silk that I use. This is a very fine lace weight, but together, oh my goodness, what's going on here? There you go. Together they made this just the most beautiful fabric. I enjoyed working on this very much. This was part of a knit along. Marie of Old Time Knits podcast and Sophie of Cozy Meadow Knits podcast. They did a knit along for this. They're still doing it until February 14th. And I decided to join along. And I'm really glad I did, because now I have this really pretty sweater. This is like gonna last forever. And I doubt it will pill because of how strong that silk is. And just the way that the fabric feels, I can tell it's gonna be very long lasting. I made the sleeves longer, especially the cuff, longer than the pattern calls for. And I didn't go for a cropped body. I just did a regular length. And then the neck is a little wider than I wish it to be, so I'm going to take and crochet it in so that it's tighter. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but yeah, I really love this. So there's still time to join the knit along if you're interested. Just I'll put the hashtag on the screen and you can use it on Instagram. That was really fun. Happy to have this finished. Okay, so the next finished object, which I think you've already seen, but I'm not 100% sure. But just in case you haven't, it is the Broken Stones hat. And it has this cute little acorn tag on it, and a folded brim, and then this pretty lace in the center, and then some really pretty decreases at the crown to make this swirl. And this was knit with the same yarn that I showed you before, the Broken Stones Vidalana Ascendance. Now I think that's a DK weight held with a strand of mohair undyed, and it created this really pretty texture. So that pattern is now available for purchase if anyone's interested. It is knit bottom up. So I just wanted to mention that as a finished object. And then I started to knit some little stars because I needed a small project. And I found this pattern on Ravelry for a free pattern for a star ornament. And this is by Wool Made. She has a picture here of one of the large stars. Hers is actually much larger than mine. I did make one large one, but not as large as hers. But the rest of these I made pretty small. So the first one I used some pure linen yarn. This is a new item I have available in the web shop. If you're into linen, it's beautiful. It was really fun to work with. And then I did one with a pink linen that I have in the shop as well. But I added mohair to this one. But it came out really sweet. Looks all fuzzy. I like that one a lot. And then I did one in Nutiden. And this came out so light and airy. I really love the Nutiden ones. And I didn't bring them all with me, but I made a whole tree full. Like I went out and got a branch, put it upstairs, and then hung them all up on it.
Our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air.
It looks really good. This one I just used some cream yarn and mohair held double. That one came out super fuzzy too. And then I made this. This is the largest one I made out of some Peruvian, they want to turn around the wrong way, out of some Peruvian Highland wool. And I don't think I did this one perfectly. There was a learning curve, but it's pretty good. Yeah, they were really fun to make. And I plan to make more as like, not only for the tree, but for gifts, just to add to presents that you've wrapped. And I added this twine to most of mine. And sometimes I added just a little yarn tie instead. But it was really fun, really easy, and really quick. Earlier in the winter, I decided to take an old pattern that I had written years ago for a shrug, which I'm sure I've shown you before. And this is crochet, but yeah, it's a shrug. It's got sleeves on the sides, and then your body goes in the center part, kind of like this. This one was made, like I said, a long time ago with some sock yarn that I got from KnitPicks. And it was 2 skeins and they never really matched perfectly, so it's a little wonky, but it's still cute. And if I didn't mention it, this is a free pattern on Ravelry, my website as well. But anyway, I decided to improve on the pattern, so I made a second sample and I'll show it to you. This one's a little bit longer, so that means the sleeves are longer, which is what I wanted. But here's the front. Here's the sleeve. You can see the length of that. And it's a really pretty yarn, and it's in this blue and green color. This is from Green Mountain Spinnery, which is, I believe it's in Putney, Vermont. It is a fingering weight, and it is kid mohair, fine wool, and that's it, I think. Let me make sure. It says 40% kid mohair, 60% fine wool, and you get 450 yards in a skein. So yeah. So this is, the pattern has been updated, and you can find it on my website, Ravelry, everywhere I sell patterns. And there was a video to go along with this, so it's sort of a video tutorial, but it doesn't hold your hand. It just sort of shows me making it and the steps along the way. But this is called the Fairy Garden Shrug. I think I worked that up in about 2 or 3 days. It was very quick. Okay, let me check my notes. I'm trying to be organized. Oh, there's a gift knit that I won't be able to show you because I already gifted it to my friend Marie, but it was a fruit stripe shawl, just like the one I'm wearing, only in different colors, obviously. And I think I have maybe a clip of me in the middle of it, or when I just started it, so I can put that in so you can get an idea of the colors. But I used some really pretty hand-dyed yarn and some mohair that I had dyed up, so she loved it. All right, Love Note Fairy Garden Knit Stars. And then I made a pillow cover. So we had friends over for a couple of days, and I sat in the living room with them pretty much the whole time and worked on this pillow cushion. It's huge. Really big, and it has this brown color on the top, and then the rest of it is all cream, except for, again, the bottom. That's probably a better way to show you. This is Peruvian Highland wool, hand spun, natural, so undyed, and it's in a super bulky weight. And the pillow I had was great. It was something I had purchased at like Marshall's or something, and it was like a woven pillow, and all of the weave was starting to come apart, and no matter how I sewed it, I couldn't fix it. It kept coming apart, so I put this on it, and now it feels super soft and cozy, and I'm really happy I did it, because it should give this pillow quite a few more years of life.
On our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
And then we have this, which again, I am sure I have shown you. This is the Ever After dress. This is the second sample that I knit. This one is from my granddaughter Blake. The first one was from my granddaughter Charlie. And this pattern was just released, was it last weekend? So very recently. So yeah, now you can get this if you're interested. It's from, I want to say sizes 1 to 10. And it's knit top down, raglan, one piece. The top, I used 1 skein of fingering weight sock yarn, and then for the bottom I used mohair, and then this is all part of that first skein at the top, and it has these pretty butterfly sleeves and this little empire waist, so, and it's very swingy and flowy. I haven't given it to Blake yet because we didn't get to see the kids for Christmas this year because of COVID. So we'll be going down when there's less chance of snow. All right, the next work in progress I am kind of obsessed with right now, and I think you'll see why. I am making these squares, crocheted squares, out of Nutiden. When Carolyn and Knut had their, not the last update, but it was a couple of updates ago, I splurged on some Virvan, which is the Swedish word for whirlwind, and it makes when they make the Virvan, well, I'll show you what a plate looks like. It's all the colors mixed together, and it's just so pretty. I mean, it looks a little messy on that side, but look at that side. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And this one, I'm working up a square right now from this. So you're getting the greens and the yellows and the orange in this one. It has that really pretty texture. And So from each plate, I'm getting between 3 and 4 squares. I'll show you them. I'll go quickly though, because there's quite a few. So we have this one, and you'll notice how different they all look. Although they're all in the same, color family. They all go well together, but they are all so different. I really love this red. This one. These all need to be blocked so that they're more perfectly square. This one is super bright. This one you can see where I started a new plate. This one is very fall. This one. Another stripey one. And 2 more. We have this green. And then this one. So pretty. And there they are. So all together, I'm not sure if they're going to have a square in between each of these colorful squares that's more solid color, more plain, or if I'll put a border around each square before I assemble it. I haven't decided that part yet. But I am just loving making these. They whip up really quickly. They're just so light and airy. This blanket is not going to weigh anything, but it's going to be very warm. So I think it's perfect. And I've always wanted to make a blanket out of Nutiden. And so now I will have one. Joe keeps teasing me that it's his because he really likes the colors. So we'll see. All right, let me get these all piled back up together. And there they are. I want to say I have 15 or 16 of them made so far. It's a pretty good pile. I want to say I have about 3 more plates left. So we'll see how many I get in total. I'm going to have to do a little bit of math and measuring to make sure that it works out perfectly as a blanket. I will show you this project here. This is in a bag that my friend Marie gifted me for Christmas. This is by Little Robin Cottage. She makes such adorable project bags. They're so cute. Look at those acorns. And I think it matches this yarn really well as well. So here we have it. This is, it doesn't have a name yet, but I always refer to it as the Daylights pullover, but I don't know what it's actually going to be called. But anyway, it has this lace cowl neck and the sleeve with the lace at the bottom of the sleeve. It does have some shaping in the arm as well. Top down raglan construction, and there will be some lace at the bottom as well. So I'm not hurrying on this at all. I'm taking my time and enjoying the process. But I do keep taking breaks from it when I need just something mindless that I don't have to keep track of every row. But I'm really enjoying it, and this yarn, I would buy it all day long. I love it. Here's one skein. It's a woolen spun, so very light and airy. I want to say DK weight, and I really love this. I got this for on clearance in their bin for $9 a hank, so really good deal. If you ever get to go to Harrisville, New Hampshire, that mill is to die for. It is so beautifully stylized. I love it. All right, next. want to show you some of the progress that I made on my rug hooking, but I'm not too keen on it yet. So I was given some beautiful, Elaine, thank you so much. Elaine, you know who you are. She sent me some beautiful wool fabric that I could continue wool hooking with, and she also sent some yarns. So she suggested trying to use yarn for the leaves, and I did. I just don't think I'm very good at it. I think it's my technique. So here's what we have. This is my interpretation of a leaf, and then the other one as well. Almost, I finished with all the background. That's so close. And then I just have to finish this one oak leaf and turn this into a pillow cover. So that's the goal. It's fun. It's something fun to do when I'm tired of knitting. So, you know, I did a little bit more since I saw you last. So what can I say? Okay, my last work in progress is, I don't have a name for it now, and I'm calling it the Magic Moment Shrug. And I'll explain more about that later when I release this, but for now, this is a shrug similar to the other shrug that I showed you, the crochet, except for this one has buttons. These are really pretty abalone, I think they're called. Is that the name? They're like a natural shell button. Let's see if that'll zoom in for you. They're very, very light, but big enough that they're not going to come unbuttoned, because this is not the type of thing you're going to be unbuttoning a lot. You're just gonna pop it on. This would be, you know, one side of your sleeve. Let's see if I can demonstrate. I don't think I can, but let's see here. Yeah, so there it is. And then it'll come around the other side. I think it's gonna be so pretty and elegant. I did some ribbing on this end. And then of course buttonholes all the way down. And then I'm doing obviously the place for the neck and shoulders. And then I will continue on with buttons for the other sleeve for the Magic Moment Shrug. I think it's super cool. Very mindless, which is about when I need when I've been doing lace or anything else that's more complicated. I'm using yarn that, again, Marie from Old Time Knits, confusing her name with the Cal name, from Old Time Knits on YouTube. She gifted me this beautiful yarn from Jagger Spun a couple years ago, year or two ago, I can't remember now. But I love it. It's fingering weight, and it's a beautiful color gray, and it's all wool. So I really appreciated that. Okay. All right, note time. Got that? Yep. I showed you all of the whips. As far as dyeing, in December, I played around with indigo, which was super fun. I ended up with, for my patrons on Patreon, they each get a skein of yarn if they sign up for a certain tier. And this was the beautiful shade of blue that I was able to get. Look at that. I mean, indigo never disappoints, does it? It's blowing out much brighter. It's a pretty deep, it's more like this, I would say, than when I put it close up. It's a really pretty blue. And this is a Peruvian Highland 100% wool, so you could see how saturated that gets. And then when I used the second bath, after I had, used up the first bath, I want to say with maybe 10, 11 skeins, I added some cotton in, and you could see that that's a much different shade than the first one, but still beautiful. Yeah. So if you sign up for Patreon, as long as it's before the end of the month, then you will get that color yarn that I dyed depending on the month. So now we're in a new month, so January, so you can't get this anymore, but I will be dyeing with indigo again in the coming year. And I'll just be trying to get some maybe different shades and maybe over dyeing some yellow things in it. That's really fun to do too. So that was that, and what else? Let's see. Yep, we talked about that. As far as acquisitions, well, first of all, Joe and I have been going to antique shops and thrift stores and Goodwill and looking for books that we're both interested in so that we can, you know, continue to fill up our bookshelves. And I've divided mine into sections. Like I have knitting on the bottom, knitting and crocheting and spinning and dyeing. And then I have nature books here on this pile. And here are all children's books. Those are location books, so New Hampshire, Hawaii, and Cape Cod. Up on the top shelf, which I don't think you can even see, are all my art books. And then I have just like some plants. So it's been very fun collecting them. I also collect or buy my books on Thrift Mart. Not Thrift Mart, what's it called? Thrift Books? I'll put the name in, I'll put the name here. Can't trust my memory. But I got this Keeping a Nature Journal book on Thrift Books. And, oh, there it is. This is a really good resource by Claire Walker Leslie on how to create your own nature journal. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I mean, it's just such a beautiful book. It's full of examples of journaling. So I decided to start one. I bought this cute little foraging notebook for it. And so far I've only just begun. So I did the first page. And the general idea is that you want to put the date. In my case, I put the time. I put how much snow was on the ground. I drew a picture of this fallen sample that I found cleaning up from December storm, so I documented that. And I used my tree book to determine that this was a eastern white pine. And I knew that because it had 5 little needles coming out of one shoot. And I wrote that it grows to be 100 feet or 30 meters. And that the pine cones can grow up to 8 inches or 20 centimeters long. So that's just an example, and then I can add some color to this if I decide. But I'll just continue doing that anytime that I am outside or even looking out the window or bringing samples inside, nature samples from outside. That's another way you can do it in the winter if you don't want to be outside. But I'll keep you posted on how this turns out over this coming year. Let's see, I've also been doing a lot of just sketching. I told you I'm trying to teach myself how to draw. So I signed up for Skillshare for the year. I got a really good rate on it. And so I've been taking all the drawing classes that I can on there. The other day I took one on drawing animal eyes. And this is just a sample of what I ended up with trying to do some animal eyes, especially cats. And it's really fun. I mean, I have a long ways to go, but I'm really enjoying doing it. I'm just gonna flip through really quickly so you can just see a few pictures that I've done. Sitting by the river. Christmas. We have just sitting in the woods. And this is just a page of like a bunch of different little animals. I'm mostly interested in learning how to draw and paint animals. There's some more. So, I mean, I'm getting there. It takes practice. You have to practice a lot if you're not naturally artistic, which apparently a lot of people are not. They have to practice. So, some more little bears. Yeah, so it's fun. I'm enjoying it. And for Christmas, Joe got me a lot of drawing and painting supplies. So I feel like I have everything I need now. And I even bought myself from Etsy. They were having, like, it was 50% off. It was such a good price. It's so pretty. It's a leather journal, handmade, and it smells so good. Look at the side of it. Oh, that nice strap. And then on the inside, this is just the end paper, but the inside has really nice paper for drawing and painting, watercolor painting. So I haven't put anything in it yet because it's too new, and I don't like to use things that are brand new, but I will. I'll leave the maker's name and information down below, but this journal on clearance, not on clearance, but on sale for the holidays, it was only like $30, and it's so worth it. I'm putting all of my art supplies in this vintage suitcase that I picked up a while back, which I think I showed you already, but it's been so handy. Yeah, so Joe got me these watercolor pencils. It's really important to have. And this has nothing to do with watercolor, but he also got me a fountain pen, so that I can write more beautifully. And it's such a beautiful pen. So that'll be fun. I've been practicing with it a little bit. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to talk about with painting and drawing. It's a really fun little side project that I've been happy to work on when I have time. So I have two more things I want to talk about. I wanted to show you a little bit more of the gifts that I got from my friend Marie, and then talk about some new kits that are in the shop. And then I wanted to talk about a something I've signed up for, sort of a challenge for myself for the year. So let's see. We will start with, so here's the box. The gift came in. I'm not going to show you everything, but I have to show you two things. Well, maybe three. The first was this little sweater ornament that she had attached to the gift. How cute is that? Little raglan sweater. I hope it's you can see it. And this beautiful yarn by Palmer Yarn Company. It's a sock set. So pretty. And then she knit me these socks. look at them. Aren't they adorable? I cannot believe this was the first time I've ever received a hand knit gift, and it was so much fun to open. Yeah, there were a lot more goodies than that, and the sweetest card, and it's just so wonderful to have a friend who's also so passionate about knitting. So thank you, Marie. I loved my gifts. So good. Okay. Oh, did I mention there's going to be a giveaway? I forgot to tell you. There's going to be a giveaway at the end of the episode, so stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to go through this really quickly because I know this is going to be a long podcast if I don't. But I have 4 new kits in the shop, and this one is for weaving this beautiful dish, the Adeline dish kit. These kits are by Flax and Linen. I'm sorry, Flax and Twine is the name of the company, Flax and Twine. Here is the Tiny Star Garland kit. This is a crochet kit, super sweet. To make the little star garland. And then you can also knit a trellis drawstring bag. And these come in 2 colors, really pale pink and ivory. Some come with needles, some come without. It depends on if you want needles or not. And we have the April basket kit, just in time for Easter. Super cute. It has everything you need in this handy little box from Flax and Twine. So those are available in the shop, and I am running out. So if you want one, I would grab it. There's also, like I said to you, linen yarn in the shop, and that's in several colors, including natural, one that looks like a linen color, and a pale pink. And then there's like a rust color that's really beautiful. But for the giveaway, I thought it, whoa. Sorry about that. I'm on a rolling chair. I rolled away. So for the giveaway, I thought it would be fun. Let me get to that page. I thought it would be fun to give away some yarn. So I recently picked up this beautiful, beautiful yarn. This is sock yarn, and I'm gonna get my glasses so I can get the information right. So the name of this base is Juliet Sock. The colorway is stained glass. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. There are 420 yards, 384 meters per skein, 113 grams. Needle size 0 to 3. And here it is in all its glory. So it starts out with these greens and blues, and then it works its way up to these purples, and then it ends with such beautiful yellows, oranges, and pinks. And then I'll flip them around for you so you can go back up. Wow, how beautiful is that? It looks like stained glass. So if you would like to enter to win these 2 skeins of Yarn Love stained glass yarn, I just need you to subscribe, obviously, and I will be checking, like the video, and answer this question in the comments. How do you feel about lifelong learning and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone? So the reason I asked that question is because I feel like I'm a lifelong learner. I'm always interested in learning new things, and I decided 2 days ago that I was going to sign up for this really big deal, which is the TKGA Master Hand Knitting Program. So here's my binder. And this is what the cover page looks like of the program. And there are 3 levels to this. This is obviously level 1, and level 1 they give you 1 year to complete, and everything I need to do this first level everything I need is in this binder. So it gives you all of the instructions on all of the swatches. I think there are 19 or 20 swatches that you have to complete. And then for this level, you are working on a mitten, and you have reports you have to write, and it's very, very particular. Everything has to be done exactly perfect for you to become a master knitter. So the first level takes 12 months, up to 12 months. You have 1 year to finish it. I expect to finish before that though. Level 2, they give you 18 months to complete, and level 3, they give you 24 months to complete. So it's a long process, but I expect that I'll be able to finish it sooner than that. And so the first thing I have to do is a report on blocking and caring for your hand knits. So, and again, this has to all be like, the references have to be there, the bibliography, everything. It has to be very, very college-like. And they're super, super picky. They want perfection, pretty much. So yeah, and then when I finish all the swatches and all of the workload for level 1, I will simply mail them this binder with everything in it. And then the panel goes through it, and anything that's rejected, you have to do over, obviously. And so I think it's going to be really good for me. I think it's really going to expand my knowledge of knitting. It's going to force me out of my comfort zone, because there are a lot of things that I avoid, whether it be just laziness or just not wanting to learn something new in knitting. But now I am forced to. And in fact, the very first thing I have to learn is a long tail cast on, because believe it or not, I always do a simple cast on or a crochet cast on. It's about time I learned the long tail. So I thought it would be really fun to share my experience with you on this journey that I'll be on, and let you know what it's like, and share my swatches with you, and just all the things that I learn along the way. So I hope that excites you. But that is the reason for the giveaway question. I'll repeat that question again. So please comment, how do you feel about lifelong learning and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone? And yeah, whether you're into it or not, just give me your feelings on that, and that will enter you into the giveaway for these 2 beauties that I'll send you. So good luck with that, and I will announce the winner on the next episode. I'm pretty sure that's everything. It was really nice talking to you. Let's see what's going on with me. Today is a rainy day. We don't really have a lot of snow on the ground, a few inches maybe, but we are expecting some snow next week. And I'm actually going to be going to Marie's house next week, so it can't snow on Wednesday. It just can't. But we have a snow date just in case, because we know how it is up here in New Hampshire. So anyway, that's about it for now. It was really, really nice talking to you, and I hope you're doing well. And I really love to read your messages. So even if you don't want to enter the giveaway, if you want to just tell me what you've been working on, I would love to chat. So we will talk soon. Bye now.
On our tiptoes, undercover, agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all, a bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for